I think if I were only allowed to give one piece of advice, it would be this. Don't be afraid to change. I've been a photographer since I was 16, but only professionally since 2018. Prior to that, I would describe myself as a serious amateur photographer. Obviously, before doing this professionally, I had another career. Well, it's a bit extravagant to call it a career, really. I tend to think of a career as being limited to a single profession, and sometimes people do that with only one employer. Less so probably nowadays. Throughout my employed career, I made some big changes. Not just between employers, but between professions and between economic sectors. I've worked in the private sector, the public sector, and the third sector. I started out with a degree in business studies and went to work in banking and finance. After that, I worked in sales and marketing within the Johnson & Johnson group, and then after that, I decided to fulfill an ambition and moved into education, where I worked as a lecturer in further and higher education for 11 years. After that, I worked for a charity for 16 years before finally taking early retirement. It was only then that I decided to attempt a long-held ambition and see if I could become a professional photographer. So I set up my business in April 2018 and decided to concentrate on commercial photography, specifically trying to service small to medium-sized businesses. So what's my point? Obviously, I'm biased because it's been my experience, but I think change is actually a good thing and we shouldn't be afraid to embrace it. We do, however, need to embrace it wisely and carefully and not just on a whim. You don't want to be cavalier about it, say, well, I've had enough of this, I'm off to do something else now. Be sensible about it, please. But I think change keeps us fresh. It broadens our horizons, our experiences, widens our knowledge, and makes us just a little wiser and maybe slightly more interesting at parties. Without making the changes I made, there's so much I simply wouldn't have experienced, and I certainly wouldn't be where I am now. And now I'm making another change. Last year, I had a healthy pipeline of bookings and potential bookings, which evaporated within a few weeks. I had kept my new business alive and going through the COVID pandemic, which I think was no mean feat, especially for a new business. But the uncertainty over energy prices caused my pipeline clients to defer indefinitely due to uncertainty about their budgets. Now, I happen to be in the very fortunate position that I don't need to rely on photography work to generate an income, so I'm happy to stop chasing business, and whilst I'll consider any jobs that come my way, I'm now focusing on fine art photography. This is allowing me to explore and express things that I'm interested in, and hopefully those will also resonate with others, people maybe like yourself, perhaps. My current project is a series exploring absence. I'm looking at the significance of absence, and hopefully the photographs will stimulate thought and reaction from those who view them. That's certainly my intention. Already on my channel are 2 videos about photographs called The Absent Shopper and The Absent Traveller. In this series, I use a chair to stand in the place of an absent person, and I add whatever additional props might be necessary to help tell the story. This exploration of absence all began in 2018, around the time I was setting up the business. And the first expression of absence was in what became a series of 5 images entitled Absence, a Story in 5 Parts. That became a creative collaboration with the poet Lucy Berry, who provided a poem to accompany the images inspired by the images. Just recently, I've made that into a video which will be released next week, alongside an accompanying video explaining how it came together, and includes a fascinating discussion with Lucy on the creative process, both hers and mine. You'll not want to miss those, so please subscribe to my channel. Click on the bell icon so that you're notified when I release new content, and you will be among the first to see those videos. And remember, change is good for you. Embrace it wisely, expand your experience and knowledge. And as ever, thank you for watching, and I'll be back again very soon.